Hello, my name is Anna Morrison and I left John Henry Newman in 1998. I was Anna Hewitson then, so you'll have guessed it, but I am the sister of Mr. and Miss Hewitson. I loved my time at John Henry Newman. I did fairly well in all of my subjects. I did okay in my GCSEs and decided to stay on for A-levels, and I did French, music and Christian theology. Don't ask me why. I guess it was probably because that's what I did well at in my GCSEs and the subjects that I kind of enjoyed the most. And Christian theology sounded like good fun for an opportunity to do lots of debating and researching and that kind of stuff. Anyway, when I did my A-levels, I soon realised that I didn't want to go to university. At the time, there was a real expectation by the school that if you did your A-levels that you would go on to university, but I didn't want to do that. So all of my friends were really excitedly looking through the prospectuses, because you used to have like a room with all of the prospectuses, and they were kind of, trying to pick the university that they'd want to go to, the courses that they wanted to study. Sometimes we'd go on university open days as well, and it just wasn't grabbing me. There's nothing wrong with going to university, I just couldn't see how it was going to be relevant for me, and I just really wanted to get out and start working. So I left school after my A-levels. I got a job working at a car company, doing loads of photocopying and filing and working on reception, and basically saved up enough money to move to New Zealand. And when I went to New Zealand, I worked as a waitress in a restaurant bar. It was really cool actually, because we had quite a few celebrities through. We had the New Zealand All Blacks through once, that was cool, and we also had Michael Barrymore once as well. And I think one of my favourite moments was once I was in a car park at the back of the restaurant, and all the police were there and they kind of shut everything off, and we were like, who's coming through the car park? It must be someone really famous. And it was John Travolta. And one of my favourite memories of being at John Henry Newman was playing Sandy in Grease in the school musical. So to meet John Travolta, who's my absolute hero, was just, a highlight of my life. So I came back from New Zealand and I started working. I got a job, it was a full-time job, but it was just like a temp job at North Hertfordshire College. So they'd opened up a new building in Letchworth. It's called the Goldsmith Centre. It's on the corner next to Morrison supermarket. And they needed someone to man the reception desk. So I thought, well, I've got nothing else to do, I'll take that job. So I was temping on reception. Then they offered me the opportunity to go for the full-time position. So I thought, again, kind of, I don't know what I'm doing with my life, so I did it. Went for the full-time receptionist job and got it. And that was the start of a really long, happy career at North Hertfordshire College. So I spent, I think, about 8 years working my way up. So my next job was to manage all of the reception desks across the whole college. Then my next job was to look after central inquiries, which was all of the telephone calls and emails that came through. Sorry, the printer's just started off behind me. I'm not sure why that's happened. And then I kind of moved into management, and they offered that I could do a management qualification. So I did that, and at the end of my time with North Herts College, I was in charge of about 50 staff. I was about 23 years old, I think. And I had all of this responsibility. I was looking after multi-million-pound budgets and just in charge of so much stuff. I thought, I've been here for such a long time, I wonder what else is out there. So I then moved to a role that was all about working across Hertfordshire to connect training providers, so like colleges, universities, independent training providers, apprenticeships, young people, the council, Hertfordshire County Council, and to try and do more to create more opportunities for young people. So I loved that job, and I did it for 3 years full time. And then the organisation that was employing me, called the Learning and Skills Council, shut down. So potentially I was redundant, there was just no more funding for that position. So it was one of those brilliant T-junction moments for me. Do I go and get a normal job, a proper job where someone else pays my salary and tells me what to do? Or should I set up my own business? So I did. That was 10 years ago. I've got a few companies now, but the first one I set up was Anna Morrison Consultancy Services. Then I'm really successful, you know, working with lots and lots of different clients across the country. It started off as just me. Then I took on a part-time administrator after a couple of years. 10 years on, there's now 10 of us in the business. 2 of my staff are based in the Isle of Wight. I think 5 of the team are currently ex-John Henry Newman students. That is not because I only employ JHNers, but I think just naturally we seem to enjoy working together. So yeah, there's 10 of us. We work nationally across England. We work internationally with other countries. Just a couple of weeks ago, I was on a conference with South Africa. Then I had a conversation with India. Then I was emailing with Delaware in the US. So, so we kind of get lots of attention. Basically what we do all links back to my experience of leaving school. So obviously I was in that position where I didn't want to go to university, but what were the alternatives? And no one was really talking to me about what else I could do. And that is where that's what we do now. So Amazing Apprenticeships is the company that we kind of brand ourselves as. And we now work with more than 4,200 schools and colleges across England, helping to promote apprenticeship awareness, but also other options. So there are things like traineeships, T-levels, Kickstart. So what we try to do is help, first of all, teachers to understand what all of those options are, and then give them lots of resources that they can then use with their students and with parents and carers and other staff to just help them to understand what's going on, what those opportunities are, and to share it with you, their students. So I love what I do. I think all of my experiences at John Henry Newman have stood me in good stead. I loved music and performing, and I think that really helps when I have to speak in front of large audiences. So pre-COVID, you know, it wasn't unusual to have to address 500 or 1,000 people in a conference centre room. And kind of share my wisdom or my thoughts or ideas with them. Now we do it all online at the moment, and that will probably continue for quite a bit longer. So I've still got a lot of friends that I made at John Henry Newman as well. A lot of my close friends are friendships that I found at John Henry Newman. And I'm still in touch with. And I love staying connected to the school as well. I try to come back in and support students with stuff around apprenticeships and parents and teachers as well, wherever I can. So we are based in Hitchin on a place called Wilbury Way Industrial Estate, which you can't see out the window, but yeah, we're down here with lots of other businesses. We're actually based in a big business centre where there are probably 20 or 30 businesses in our block. All with kind of separate offices, and then we've got shared facilities like kitchens and toilets and things. We do offer work experience. We love hearing from students who are keen to kind of find out more about our business and want to work with us. We're all about giving people opportunities and trying to help people to kind of get on with their careers. COVID has been a huge change for us. All of our work with schools that normally would be face-to-face has had to flip to online, but it's also opened up lots of new markets and opportunities for us as well. So we are, like I said earlier, we're collaborating with other countries across the world, but we are also strengthening our connections across England. And I think really using our voice, our opportunity now as a platform to help people to see how things need to change. I think it's made us all realise that actually there's different ways we could be doing things, and so we've tried to embrace all of those challenges. I'm not sure I've got many words of wisdom for you, but I would just say, you know, no matter what you think you might want to do, just explore all of the options. So particularly when you're thinking about where you might want to progress to after school, don't rule anything out. Have a look at full-time university, look at apprenticeships, look at college, look at gap years, look at travelling, look at volunteering, and make sure that you do something that you feel really passionate about. I think that's where I'm really lucky. I've now got a whole business set up around something that I feel really passionate about. And so working long hours and having all the stresses of running a business absolutely make it worth it, because I know that every single day we get to help people to find out more, and you know, and knowing that we're helping people is something that really motivates me. So if you want to take a look at our website, it's amazingapprenticeships.com. If you would like to follow us on Twitter or Instagram, it's @AmazingAppsUK. I'm Anna Morrison. Thank you so much for listening to my talk, and good luck with your futures. Thank you.